We have a number of interventions that we intend to make to improve production. Because again, right now, even the increases we have seen in value have been realized without increasing the volume, because we are still at 50,000 metric tons, yet you have seen the value has gone up. What it means, therefore, is that we could have much more earnings as a country if we increase the area under production and also increased the yield per bush. The target is to escalate it from where it is at the moment, 2 kilograms per bush, to 10 kilograms per bush by 2027, in accordance with the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto, but also put more land under coffee production, including doing coffee farming under irrigation, so that as we plan our irrigation agenda for the country, coffee as a crop is going to be part of the targeted crop. There is an issue there about transparency in the coffee trade and coffee sales, both direct sales and also the sales through the coffee exchange. There are issues of transparency which we need to work on. And one area we must firm up is the area of ensuring that the deductions done at cooperative level do not again deny farmers their sweat. There is need for openness there. Secondly, there is need for openness from AFA. We need to integrate coffee trade and coffee sales, whether direct sales or through the auction, so that we have one source of truth, one source of data, and that visibility should be available to all the players, including farmers. We are looking at the reforms of the new KPCU, including its infrastructure. At the same time, we are looking at the debt waiver that was approved by Cabinet, actualizing it, but authenticating that debt so that it benefits the target people, and that process, I think, needs to be speeded up so that we can get the debts from that sector. We've seen in other sectors, debt waiver has gone a long way in bringing back the sector into production. Sugarcane farming is one example. In the meantime, the introduction of the trade of coffee at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange has already yielded some fruits. And as I said, if you compare the last 3 years, where the return per kilogram of cherry was 60 shillings in 2022, 80 shillings in 2023, 100 shillings in 2024, is likely to increase in 2025, already going by the February sales. We are also looking at how to get resources for the modernization of factories and the production units to make sure that we minimize post-harvest losses and also improve on the quality of our coffee. We have agreed that we need to fine-tune the issue of availability of seedlings, quality seedlings, as one of the major influencers of production. At the same time, we also need to avail the right fertilizer to the right region throughout the seasons to make sure that, again, farmers get fertilizer and the right fertilizer in good time. We are going to also farm up and improve efficiency in the delivery of fertilizers, especially last mile availability of fertilizer to the farmer, including the suggestions which have been made in creating awareness and giving information to the farmers when the fertilizer is available. This, the issue of governance of coffee cooperatives is at the center of our success story. The issue of removal of conflict of interest, eradicating cartels, and the people who have made sure that the farmer is suffering over the decades is at the center of our success story. And I want to assure you that with your political support and the support of the farmers and the members of the public, we're going to go out of our way to remove the remaining bottlenecks around conflict of interest, but also around improving governance. Once the new cooperative law takes place, we are going to have better governance at the factories. If we remove the indebtedness in that sector, improve the equipment for processing our coffee, do our marketing, bring new area of land under coffee production, including irrigated coffee farming, we are looking at a sector that could easily double, triple in the next few years, even as we look forward to the end of the first term of this administration. Already, some steps have been made, and one of the biggest enablers to the reforms we seek to see in this sector is the legislative initiatives that have already been taken. The coffee bill and the cooperative bill, because the two of them are interlinked, must be finalized as soon as possible. One of the takeaways I have gotten from your feedback is that, again, I will be able to push through the remaining part by convening the role players, especially the Senate, to ensure that we conclude that process and unlock the reform package that we are looking at between the coffee bill and the cooperative bill. We also need to engage in commercial diplomacy to market our coffee to more destinations, especially even within Africa. Many African countries would happily import our coffee, and therefore we are going to engage with the diplomats. This office being the coordinating office for development partners, we can use that as a way of also advancing our commercial diplomacy with the embassies that are in Nairobi, targeting Africa, Asia, and other new markets. The Kenya Kwanza administration was elected on the basis of a manifesto. That manifesto requires us to ensure that we increase incomes and the value to farmers and other players in the coffee sector. Agriculture is a big, big plank of that manifesto. Then we have about 19 value chains in agriculture and livestock and fisheries, and one of those value chains is coffee.
The prices this year are good. They are good. We are not saying they are the best, but they are good. However, safeguarding the flow of the money from the 132 on average to the final rate that will be declared at the coffee factory is an area where we have to come in and ensure that the flow through that pipeline is safeguarded. Alternatively, Your Excellency, we will have figures here that the farmers ask. When we announce the figures, we go to the farmers, they ask us, where did the money go? We have the DSS as the platform for settlement of sales, and we have AFA in direct sales. Well, we have a lot of clarity on what happens at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange. Your Excellency, we had a sale on Tuesday, which flew over into yesterday. By the end of today, we have complete visibility of the movement of the money and what was generated and even who sold what. On direct sales, we seem to have a dark silo at AFA. The information on direct sales, which actually is supposed to give our farmer a premium price over what is attained at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange. The information is only known by the leadership of the cooperatives and AFA. And the lack of transparency and visibility in that area is worrying.
Thank you, Excellency.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Samuel Chepkonga. I'm the Member of Parliament for Ainabko constituency. Your Excellency, this is the new frontier.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Lady Kiri Mugambi, Member of Parliament of Bole constituency. And for simple record, the entire Melo County, all constituencies grow coffee.
When we talk of 15 billion trees, coffee, tea adds to the same. So,
Central, we are second in Baringo in growing coffee.
Aspiring and incoming coffee farmers, having been introduced to it by
Kericho, Beatrice.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And
another method of making sure that all these coffee cooperatives across the country benefit, if not from the waiver, is a bigger program than that is already.
Thank you very much. Asante sana, Kirinyaga. We will be done in a few minutes, don't worry. We will go very fast. Kirinyaga, Ishimo.
Thank you, Excellency. And I will be very brief because most of the issues have been handled by the chair. One of the areas is
make sure that the farmers get their fertilizers on time. Make sure that the cherry fund, Your Excellency, is accessible to the farmers. And finally, some of these factories are too old. Your Excellency, we need not a lot of money to go and just help on these factories' refurbishment. From the pulping machines to where they normally dry the green berries. Your Excellency, if we start from there, we'll be able to uplift the farmers. So if we start from the cooperatives, then as we now take care of the marketing and grading, because currently the graders, they use their own. You cannot really tell the farmer that your coffee was AA or this was AB. It's at their own discretion. So, Your Excellency, if you're able to look at how we can be able to improve. And the last one, which many have said, on trying to see the people who are buyers, they are sellers, they are marketers, some of them are still brokers, trading at different names. We need to call them out and make sure that one gets only one license, so that then we don't end up one or two people monopolizing the industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
the farmers from the western part have not accessed sharing fund. So there's a question of equity in the availability of the fund. And Your Excellency, together with that, if we want to make coffee and this country, the foreign exchange it did, is just improving the governance issues around cooperatives. Because most of our farmers in the western region are going to be small-scale farmers. So they need a platform of getting seeds, of getting fertilizer, of marketing their produce, of mailing their produce, and the best available opportunity is cooperatives.
Thank you. Thank you for able to access. Thank you. Thank you very much. Esther? Then Embu after that.
Thank you.
Quickly.
Yeah. Your Excellency, there are three main exporters, which is basically Ethiopia, Uganda, and Ivory Coast in that order.
Take that again.
there are three major exporters of coffee in East Africa. In Africa, it's Ethiopia, followed by Uganda, and then followed by Ivory Coast. Uganda has recently passed legislation on coffee, and I know that because I'm a member of the Pan-African Parliament, and all the members were whipped to be in Uganda, having landed in migrant South Africa, to go and pass that law. I think we don't need to invent the wheel. We also need to learn from other players. Benchmarking is very important, because who do we want to emulate? Ethiopia. And we also have crises in emulating Ethiopia when it comes to, I just saw recently, they're building 4 runways, they're going to be expecting 100 million guests, able to service 100 million guests, and we are struggling with our airports. So I think we need to look at African players that are ahead of us and learn from them. Thank you.